Hi there, how's it going everybody? In this video, we will talk about numpy.random.seed and numpy.random.default.rng in detail and from scratch. Let's go. Okay, before going further, I want you to notice something, and that is that there were two parts in this video tutorial. The first part is numpy.random.seed, and the second part is numpy.random.default.rng. And if you are interested in the second part, you should watch the first part because they are connected to each other. The example is the same, so you should watch the first part and then you will go to the second part. Suppose that this example, for example, I want to roll a dice for 3 times. The first time that I roll a dice, for example, I get 2. The other time I get, for example, 3. And the other time, for example, I get 6. And suppose that I want to repeat this process. I mean, the process of rolling a dice for 3 times. For example, when I repeat this process of rolling a dice for 3 times, maybe I get, for example, 1, 2, 3. And maybe I get, for example, 4, 6, and 2. I mean, it's a totally random process, so I don't know what is going to happen. When I'm rolling a dice, I don't know what is going to happen, and the results are totally random. So I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what is going to be the results. So they are totally random. These numbers are totally random. And suppose I'm a teacher and I want you to do your homework with this process. I mean, the process of rolling a dice for 3 times. And for example, maybe I want to ask, for example, to add up these 3 numbers and announce the result, announce the summation of these 3 numbers. If the process is totally random, your results is going to differ from your friend's results and from mine. And this is not what I want. Why? Because if the process is totally random, everyone can get different results. And this is not what I want as a teacher. I want to be able to control your results. I want the process to be controllable. And this is not a process which is controllable. So how can I control the process? Here's a question, and here's the aim and the goal of this video. Okay, let's do it in Python. But before going further, let's warn you again that this video contains 2 parts. The first part is about numpy.random.seed, and the second part is about numpy.random.default.rng. And if you are interested in the second part, you should watch the first part. So we are going to the first part and then to second part. Let's go. Okay, let's import numpy package, which is a package for doing numeric thing in Python. And we say import numpy as np. And when I say as np, I mean we are defining an alias name for this numpy package. And then we say np.random.randint. I mean, with this function, randint, we want to generate random integer numbers. And rolling the dice is the same as generating random integer numbers between 1 to 6. And so we say 1 to 7. Why 7 and why not 6? Because that 7 is exclusive. And if we want to generate random integer numbers between 1 to 6, we should say 1 to 7. Why? Because that 7 is exclusive. And if we want to roll the dice for 3 times, we say size equals to 3. And we put all the stuff in a variable called x. And in the next line, we print the summation of x, np.sum of x. And if we run the code, you can see the result is 6. If we run the code again, you can see the result is totally different. Why? Because the process is totally random. The process is completely random. And this is not the thing that I want as a teacher. I want the process to be controllable. So if I want to control the process, I should say numpy.random.seed. And what is this seed? Consider the process of generating random numbers as an algorithm which has an initial value. And if you and I and all the class set the initial value, for example, to 7, we will get the same results. If you, I, and everyone set this initial value, the process will be the same for all of us. So we pass 5 to this numpy.random.seed because we want to control the process and we want our results to be the same. So if we run the code, you can see that the result is 11. And if we run the code again, you can see the process is the same and the answer is 11. So here you can see that we can control the process by passing a number to this numpy.random.seed. And if you and I and everyone set this initial value to 5, we get the same results. So let's go to the second part. I mean numpy.random.default.rng. So we say np.random.default.rng. And maybe you ask, what is this default RNG? I will explain it, but please wait a minute. So this default RNG is a class, and we want to create an object of this default RNG. This is not explanation. You should wait. This default RNG is a class. This default RNG is a class, and we want to create an object of this class. And we want, for example, to name the object RNG. And remember, we can name it whatever you want. I want to name it RNG, but you can name it whatever you want. You can call it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever you want. I want to call it RNG. So we are defining. So we are creating an object of this default RNG class. Default RNG is a class, and we want to create an object of this default RNG. So we are creating an object of this default RNG class, and we call that object RNG. And because we want to generate integer numbers, we say RNG.integers, because we want to generate random integer numbers. And remember, rolling a dice is exactly the same as generating random integer numbers between 1 to 6. So I say 1 to 7. Why 7? Because that 7 is exclusive, exactly like the first part of this video. And because we want to roll the dice for 3 times, we say size equals to 3. And we put all this stuff in a variable called x. And in the next line, we create the summation of x. I mean np, that's sum of x. And if we run the code, you can see the result is 11. If I run the code again, you can see the result is 9. And if I run the code, you can see the result is different. Why? Because the process is not controllable. The process is completely random. It's totally random. So how can we control the process? By passing a number to this default RNG class. For example, if you, I, and everyone pass 5 to this default RNG class, we will get the same result. So if we run the code, you can see the result is 11. If we run the code again, you can see the result is 11. If we run the code again, we will see the result is 11. Why? Because the process is now controllable. Why? Because you are passing a number, I mean 5, to this default RNG class. If anyone, if you, I, everyone pass 5 to this default RNG class, we will get the same results. So here is how to control this process of generating random integer numbers. Please keep in mind that this default RNG is not only limited to generating integer numbers. If you check the documentation for numpy.random.default.rng, which there is a link in the description below for this page that you are seeing, you can see that there were a lot of functions, there were a lot of things here for doing a lot of stuff. For example, maybe you want to shuffle, maybe you want to generate numbers from different distributions. So you can check this page and you can use it for doing a lot of stuff. For example, we have used this integers function for generating random integer numbers, but you can use a lot of things, a lot of functions here. For example, maybe you want to generate random numbers from normal distribution. Then you say, for example, normal, and for example, you say the location of the distribution to be, for example, 1000, and the scale to be, for example, 5. And for example, maybe you want to generate 3 numbers from this normal distribution, and you want to print dx. And if you run the code, you can see the result is this. And if we run the code again, you can see the result is exactly the same because you're passing a number to this default RNG, which causes the process to be controllable. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment below. That's a great support and I really need it. Thank you.